birthday, and I wish you a lot of blessings, happiness, and joy for this new solar return cycle. All right. Let's go into your reading. Once again, I am using the 12 houses of the natal astrology chart. So let's just see what energies are coming through for you guys for each house as it pertains to a specific sector in your life right now for the month of February. One of the first thing I am getting here is that I feel like for this month, the energy is heavily about you trying to work together with another person, like trying to work together as a unit, trying to find ways to compromise and trying to find ways to, like, you and another person meeting each other halfway. And, as the most independent sign of the zodiac, it's going to be a little bit challenging for you because you are very much your own person and you pride yourself on being extremely independent. And extremely, as well, like you care about mobility, you care about, your ability to just voice your opinions and to behave in a way that is unencumbered by other people's expectations. So the challenge for this month, honestly, is going to be working together with other people. And it's not always just, relationships. It can be people in your environment where you're going to have to learn to work together as a unit. So right off the bat, the energy that you're projecting here is the magician in the reverse position. A lot of the times, this basically indicates, the speech, the ways in which we can convince others to come on board with our ideas, the ways in which we have to, like, somehow withhold the truth or distort the truth in order to present a specific situation, in order to present a case. And a lot of the times, as it relates to communication, this card also means, deception. It can also mean not being able to speak our truth in a way that we want. So there is some external constraints, basically, on your ideas, on the way that you project yourself into the world. There might be some blockages when it comes to, higher ups not being receptive to what you have to say. So you feel a little bit as if your energy is either sapped, or the things that you're hoping to implement into the world are not being received in the way that you'd hope. So there's some type of stall communication, some type of stall implementation of new projects as well. And with the magician in the reverse position, this is a card about learning. This is a card about mastery of, specific skills, and as well as mastery of our emotions, our head, and our faculties. And when it shows up in the reverse position, they're urging you, honestly, are there certain things that you might not have full knowledge about? If yes, maybe it's time to, go back and review. Maybe it's time to do a little bit more research, a little bit more analysis, read up on a specific topic so that you can become the master and that you can deliver the message, so that you can deliver, your expert opinion in a way where it actually validates, it validates your worth, but it also validates whatever it is that you are a master of. Okay, so it's kind of like, where do we need to increase or enhance our credibility as it pertains to other people that we're dealing with? So I do feel that this is a card that is urging you to master some specific skills so that you can achieve greatness in the world. As it relates to your second house here, we do have the Justice card in the reverse position. So the second house deals with income. And with the Justice card in the reverse position, a lot of you might be in, legal disputes. A lot of you might be in a work environment where you feel almost as if, hey, I'm doing a lot of the work, but for some reason, my compensation is not exactly, what I feel that I'm worth. So with this card as a major arcana card, showing up in the reverse position as well, they're pretty much urging you to right a wrong. They're pretty much urging you to, really think about the job that you're doing, the work that you're doing, as well as how you're able to make your income, and to figure out if there is a way you can ask for a salary, if there's a way, a salary increase, if there's a way that you can even, apply for new promotions, and where are you selling yourself short when it comes to, how much you feel that you are worth. So the Justice card, once again, this is pretty much about imbalances. And in your finance sector, there are pretty much imbalances as well as it pertains to, monetary gains. What's coming in, what's leaving. So be a little bit careful about, frivolous spending for this month. Be a little bit more careful about, like decisions that were made regarding finances that are not well thought out. So these two areas in your chart, it basically means that you might like see the wrong sense of worth in something, and you might need to look at this situation further in order to figure out where are you spending your money, as well as what your long-term goals are. So I feel like putting away money in a savings account would actually be really, really good for you. If you haven't started that, it's a good time for you to start planning that and start thinking about that, because I feel like money might be siphoned in the wrong avenues. Okay. So third house, communication. We do have here the Ten of Cups in the reverse position. Linked up here with the Magician, it's situations where, emotionally speaking, you might not be able to communicate your thoughts in a succinct way. So it might be, emotions overriding logic, where you are emotionally worked up, either, feeling very emotionally elated, and then you're not able to think in a coherent way, and you're not able to verbalize yourself in a coherent way. So both of these things go hand in hand, where I do feel, burst of angers. And Aquarius don't get mad very easily, and they make a lot of allowances for people overall. You make justifications, and if someone approach you the wrong way, oftentimes you're like, you make allowances for them. You say it to yourself that you might justify it as, oh, he or she probably had a bad day. But I feel like this is a card in which you're not able to communicate well, mainly because you are emotionally worked up, or you are emotionally disappointed at a person, and you might not be able to speak to them in a manner that is rational. It's more like on the emotional front. So be very careful about communication. And I feel like, dealing with people, and especially for those of you who are, dealing with a lot of clients, a lot of either like a lot of clients, a lot of inquiries from other people, or dealing with, customer service. And I do sense as well that you want to tone down the communication. At the same time, in a professional environment, we're supposed to be very, very neutral, right? We have to train ourselves to conduct ourselves in a way where we are very objective, very platonic. So it would behoove you to try to, cultivate this type of a persona where you're not letting your emotions run amok, and you're able to communicate despite these emotional, difficulties. Okay, so aiming for a little bit more, and this is not something that I feel, it's problems for you in other months, but I feel like for this month it could just be your feelings getting the best of you. So take a take a breather, take a deep breath, and before you really feel the need to say something, just ask yourself if it's contributing value, if it's going to change the situation for the better before you say it. Okay, so aim to detach a little bit emotionally from your speech. I feel that's going to be beneficial for you. Now, the fourth house is family. We have here the Page of Cups, and this is a person, water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is somebody in your midst that you're either sharing space with or dealing with, on an everyday basis. And they could also be a member of your family, or even a person that you are, sharing quarters with, for example. So this is a person that wants a lot of activity. They need a lot of stimulation. They might want to go out a lot, and they might be like, let's go here, let's go there. So I feel like you've got somebody in your midst who's either offering you a lot of food, a lot of drinks, or even opportunities to get a lot of food, to go out, to go dining, or even, to get drinks. So in the on the mundane terms, they might just be, bringing a lot of gifts, and I feel like food, beverage. And then in other ways, I do feel like you are dealing with a person specifically that might want, and it's linked up here with the Ten of Cups, that might want to create a family with you, that might want a relationship with you, and that might want, more commitment from you. So I feel like this is an energy coming through from a person that is potentially a water sign and they want to build a family. They're working at building a family, a home life with you. Fifth house here, we do have the Three of Cups. And this is a very, very good card about, jovial energy, having fun, social dating, social flirtation as well. Falling in your fifth house, which is the house of fun, excitement, recreation, creativity. It's a very, very good card, which basically denotes that there will be ample opportunities to meet up with friends, to meet up with this isn't just an acquaintance card. This is a card about having emotional connections to the people that you're with. So, like meeting up with your best friend, having a really good, either a girls' night out, guys' night out, and having just a really, really good time where you feel appreciated, where you feel like you have a very strong emotional connection with the people that you're going out with or dating. So it's a great card for singles who are looking. It's a great card for dating, and they're urging you that there will be many, many dates happening for my Aquarius for this month. So it's a very good card, and I usually think of this card as like reconnecting with best friends, reconnecting with people that you have a very strong emotional bond with, okay? In terms of your creativity, the Three of Cups is a very good card, which basically means that, conversations, laughter, more of a lighthearted energy is really going to jumpstart your creativity. For those of you who sign off of it, I feel that it's going to bring in a spark of energy. It's going to clear up those blockages for you. And it's also going to give you a better idea as to, which direction you need to head. So I feel like a lot of you are waiting on people. And it's a very other-oriented type of month. And I feel that you're waiting on people and you're waiting on decisions from other people. Where do we go? What time do we meet up? Working out the logistics behind going out. And I do sense that it's going to be a little bit taxing for you guys because you're very, very independent. But I feel like you're making time for the people that are worth it, which is a great thing. So you're not going to be too alone this time of year, and especially for this month. Okay, there are a lot of outdoor activities, even social engagements that you must attend. And in the process of attending these social engagements, I feel like they are work related and also friendships related. Okay, so it looks good. Sixth house deals with work. We have here the Ace of Pentacles, which indicates to me brand new projects. Okay, brand new clients, brand new projects, brand new prospects that are made available for you. Usually when I see this card, I think of it as like, landing a really good client and then starting to build the rapport with the client. This is also like brand new projects that are emerging, and somebody's like, hey, we have this brand new project happening. Do you want to be on board? And so you can decide to turn it down or you can decide to go with it. So overall, it looks very, very good. And if for some of you, I do feel that on the work sector, things are going to start to clear up. And I feel that it's going to be happening through, professional networking. Social media networking comes up too often with this card. And especially for those of you who are dealing with any type of publishing, I do feel that coming in for you as well in the work front. So publishing, meeting up with people, linking up, as well as having new opportunities related to creativity, writing, even like funding, research, grants, and things like that. Your mind is going to be very sharp. And I do feel that, even like creative blocks or even writer's blocks, those things are going to clear up for you. The other thing I want to mention as well is I feel like some of you are going to be coming into contact heavily with coworkers. There is, for those who are single or attached, there's a lot of flirtation. There's a lot of chemistry on the work front, okay? So it's available for you as well. And I feel that, you shouldn't mix business with pleasure, but things happen. It's a very good card for flirtation, office romance, flirtation, and I feel like even, a lot of chemistry, attraction to another person in the work front, okay? Seventh house deals with relationship, and we have the Star here. And the Star is a card about immense healing. It's about wish fulfillment. And it's actually about, feeling very, very good, feeling spiritually uplifted, feeling spiritually realigned, because I feel many of you have a relationship partner in the mix, okay? So if you are in a relationship, I do feel that you're going to have better sense of where the direction is, the relationship is headed, which direction the relationship is headed. You're going to be showered with a lot of love and affection this month, where you start to, whatever hangups you've had from previous relationships, I feel like you're going to be able to heal from it, okay? So it's a very good card. It's a very positive card. It's also your card. It's a card of Aquarius, the water bearer. This is the other thing that shows up with this card here is I feel like some of you might have felt, kind of like alone, okay? So if you're single right now, you feel almost as if you've struggled through a lot in past relationships and you feel like you couldn't really affect the outcome. You couldn't really conjure, manifest relationships. And I do sense as well there might have been some disappointment or dealing with people that might have been a little bit more, devious, manipulative, controlling, things like that. And I do sense that you're going to be able to heal from those past relationships, okay? For this month, because the energy that the work environment and your friends and associates are bringing in, it's restoring your faith in your self-worth. It's restoring your faith in yourself as well as how you see yourself. So there's a lot of healing taking place. Others of you who are dealing specifically, with an Aquarius, so I do sense there's going to be a renewal, some type of wish fulfillment, feeling very loved and appreciated by this person. So if you're dealing with another Aquarius, this is a card of Aquarius here, landing in your relationship house. So I'm inclined to say that. Either way, it's going to be, there will be a lot of reciprocity. Moving forward, 8th house, joint finances. For the sake of this reading, let's do joint finances. I feel like some of you are joined up financially with a water sign. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You might be sharing living expenses. You might be sharing bank accounts. You might talk heavily about, financial planning with this person. When it shows up in the reverse position, this is not somebody who makes, practical decisions based on finances. This is also somebody that might, they might feel a little bit entitled to your money. So for example, if you're pooling resources together, they might feel like, oh, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is also mine. So there's a little bit of unfairness here, rebalancing that needs to happen in your finance sector, and especially if you are linked up financially with a water sign. Okay, something to keep in mind about, because like I said, the main focus of these readings is to touch on all areas of our lives and to see which areas are a little bit troublesome or a little bit weak, because the problems it needs to be re-examined. It needs to be squared away, and it needs to be readjusted in a way where it's fair for both parties, because I feel like you're dealing with some type of the brunt of the financial responsibilities, and the other person is not shouldering the weight or not chipping in their fair share. So I feel like that's what's happening here. 9th house, education, travel. We have here the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups here is basically, as it relates to education, this is a situation where we feel like, hey, I've attained that diploma, I've attained that, certificate, I've graduated. Why am I not able to find the types of job that I want? And so I do sense for some of you, you're either thinking about, you're having some type of intense readjustment period, or, rethinking whether or not you want to continue a course of schoolwork, or you have recently graduated and the work environment, might not have been very welcoming. So, the job market might not have been very robust. So it might have been very difficult for you to find work. You might have no trouble finding just work, but in terms of like your career, you might feel almost as if you're staying up very late trying to, find the right jobs, trying to see what's available, trying to be the first person to apply for a job. And you feel that I feel like you sense that despite all the education, why am I not landing the jobs that I'm meant for? Why am I not able to find jobs that really stirs my passion? So in terms of long distance travel, I feel like some of you are trepidatious, like hesitant about taking some type of a long distance trip, because it basically means that, you might not be able to be close to your partner, your significant other. So there's something here about, taking a trip, planning a trip, taking a trip, two people not being on the same page, either, working out the logistic dates, when we leave, when we get back, things like that, as well as feeling hesitant about taking a trip because, it might mean that you're not going to be away, or you're not going to be in the picture with with somebody that you're living with your friends, or even, with the people that you have grown up with. So there's something here about taking a trip and being very worried, or not having the opportunities to do that, okay? What I'm also getting as well is with your career sector. The career sector is 10th house, which is represented here by the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is a card about, anxiousness. It's a card about restlessness. It's also a card about a little bit of sadness, grief, and sorrow. As it relates to career prospects, I feel some of you are in jobs where you're not happy and you want to be in a different career track, and you don't really know realistically the steps necessary to get there. And then others of you might be in a work situation where you feel like you don't have all the necessary skills to do the job. So then you have to do extra research, extra things on the side in order to get it, in order to understand the ins and outs of your work environment. And it's not leaving you enough time to do other things. So you feel like you're constantly having to play catch up, whereas your coworkers might already come into the work environment with the skills necessary. So there is a situation here where we are going to have to refine our skills. We're going to have to figure out a way to work smarter, not harder. I do sense, you're very intelligent, so you're going to be able to figure this one out. But they're telling you, don't beat yourself up over it, okay? The opportunity for you to shine, the opportunity for you to seek the right career, I do feel that it's going to be there. Don't stress too much over it. In the meantime, focus on the everyday thing that you're doing in your work environment, because you're learning skills in order for you to, go from here where you feel almost as if I might not have all the information, to here where you're starting new things. You're starting to cultivate these skills. And then gradually you will get where you need to be. Gradually you will get that job that is more in alignment with your education, and that's going to be more in alignment with your career track, okay? So patience, don't beat yourself up over it, okay? Social circle, friends, we have here the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position. And with the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, this is usually a card where I feel like, having a deep-rooted history with another person. So like your friendships, you might have known them for a really, really long time, the people in your friendship circle or that you consider friends. When it shows up in the reverse position in your group associations and friendships, what they're saying is for you to really look at, who it is that you're socializing with, who it is that you consider friends, versus who it is that have always been there for you. So I feel like there's some discrepancy between the people that you can have fun with and hang out with and just, have a very lighthearted interaction with, and the friends that are in your midst that you can have, strong emotional connections with, or even deep, thoughtful, insightful conversations with. So they're telling you there's something here where you're not going to be spending so much time doing the deep reflection with another person, but it's more like jovial, fun energy. It doesn't indicate situations where things are bad, but I do sense here friendships, the people you consider, you're very, very close friends, they might be on some financial hard times. Whether or not they tell you about it, I don't feel like they're telling you. I feel like they're keeping it hidden. So you might have some friends that have fallen on financial hard times. They might have made some investments that might not have panned out for them. I do sense here as well with the Ten of Pentacles. It's kind of like, the breakdown in some type of family unit. So there might be quarrel, disputes, and things like that coming through from families of friends. They might have infighting between either in-laws, between relationship partners. You're going to hear about something here, and especially if you have a lot of married friends or even engaged friends. I feel like there's some squabbles in their family life, there's some turbulence in their life over as it pertains to their family life overall. The 12th house is it's a very psychic house, and it's the house of secrets. It's a house of things that are kept hidden. First of all, let me just say this. These two cards speak out to me. So the 8th house is also a very psychic house. 4th as well. The 4th house, 8th house, as well as the 12th house, okay? I feel almost as if there's some truth, there's something that you are in denial about, okay? And what it's saying here for you, honestly, is look at a person based on their actions. Look at them for what they are. And especially if you are sharing space with somebody, or especially if you are financially linked up with them, okay? Because I feel like you're making a lot of allowances for this person, and I feel like they're not being fair to you. I feel like they're not putting in their fair share of the responsibilities of the work. And I feel like you're sharing space with this person, okay? Like physical space, like household space, things like that. You're living with them even. So I feel like you're blocking this information out because you feel like, oh, it's not that bad. But they're telling you to re-examine some things. What are some things that you're not in, that you might be in denial about as it pertains to a person that you are emotionally invested in? And especially if it's showing up here as a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. How much are they chipping in versus, how much are you getting out? So you want to re-examine the energy exchange, like, is it fulfilling enough for you? Are you getting enough out of this? Are they just, I guess like going through some hard times, or are they always just unjust? Or are they always just, expect you to, do they always just expect you to cover for them? So some fairness in relationships, and especially some fairness as it pertains to the household situation, is coming up for re-examination, okay? And especially if it deals with here a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So just something I want you to keep an eye out for, because if this situation is not rectified, time frame, okay? So I am going to go into your love reading now. I hope the reading has been helpful, Aquarius. So once again, the 7th house deals with relationships, and it's also business partnerships as well. Stop this deck. So I'm going to leave this card here. This will be the catalyst card to allow us to segue into the love reading, okay? So Aquarius, the message that I got strongly from this card is they're kind of telling you, you need to like take care of yourself. You need to, put yourself first. You need to be a little bit more decisive. Don't make too much allowances for other people, and especially when you're a very considerate sign, and you care about justice and fairness. So for example, if you're in a group and people ask you, hey, where do you want to go eat? And you're going to, crowdsource. You're going to wait for that vote to see where everyone wants to go. So rather than saying, hey, I like, Thai food, I like Middle Eastern food, I like, whatever it is, you might just say like, oh, I'll go wherever everyone wants to go. And they're telling you that, this is something where you need to really start taking care of yourself. Start putting your needs first as well, okay? And that's hard for you to do as a humanitarian type of sign. You're very other people oriented. So they really want you to focus on you, focus on self-love, focus on, learning to put your needs first, and as well being emotionally expressive if there is a situation that you're not happy with. So, don't beat around the bush. If there's a problem, imbalances specifically in your relationships, try to have a conversation with your significant other, okay? So that you can work things out, nip it in the bud before it starts to fester. You've got some good cards. A lot of healing taking place overall. Okay, so once again, the star, I feel like this is a really, really good month for especially those who are single. So first of all, the star is a card about wish fulfillment. As it relates to your love life, it's kind of like, encountering somebody that really checked off those expectations that you have. Like everyone comes, to dating with a list. Ideally, you should have a list of qualities that you're looking for, and you're going to meet somebody, especially if you're single. You're going to meet somebody that checked off those lists, that check the boxes. And so you're meeting someone very, very close to the type of person that you, it's like your ideal type, okay? You're meeting somebody that is going to exceed your expectations, and you're meeting somebody that is quite charming, quite amazing, quite attractive as well. I know that doesn't mean everything, but it did show up here strongly because we do have the King of Pentacles here, and that's like ultimately the attractive male, attractive female type. So let's just go into your reading. You've got some really good cards. Let's talk about the past first, because I feel like this is for those of you who feel almost as if I can't love again. I've been disappointed in the past and I don't know what to do right now because I don't want the past to repeat. So we have here the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is a situation where I feel like, this is a betrayal card. And a lot of the times it deals with like things that you have very, very high hopes and expectations for that didn't pan out. So it could be, getting engaged to someone and having the engagement, like the marriage just didn't happen. This can be putting your faith in the wrong person and having them, show their true colors. And I feel like for some of you, this is not something that affects you emotionally anymore. But I feel like the most recent relationship that you've had that ended, I feel like it really left a lot of, it's creating a lot of fear in you. It's creating a lot of anxiety. It's almost like walking around, even if you're in a relationship right now, you're walking around wondering, where's this relationship headed? Am I secure enough? You're constantly taking stock. You're constantly like, it's almost like expecting the other person to mess up because, in the past, you're just like, you had really high hopes for something in your life. And it didn't go the way that you want. And even now, for those of you who are in a secure relationship, or even when you're with someone who's very, very loving, who's very caring, you still have doubts. You still have to constantly take stock. You're still trying to figure out, like, is it real? So I feel like you have a little bit of trouble when it comes to healing yourself, not because you're still emotionally stuck on this person, but it's more like the damage that they did to you emotionally. You thought you could trust it. You thought that, you could count on it. And it turned out to be anything but. So I feel like that's what happened for you. And I feel like for the past 2 years, some of you have been dealing with this. 2 years is a long time. And I feel here with the Two of Wands in the reverse position. The Two of Wands in the reverse position indicates stagnation, not being able to move past it. And especially not being able to This is a card about, implementing things out in the world. When it shows up in the reverse position, it's all a matter of timing. It's all a matter of like, let me just date outside of my usual type. Let me find somebody who's a little bit more worldly. Let me look outside of my geographical location so that I can find this person. It could even be, culturally somebody different, or it could be just, breaking out of your geographical zone when you're looking for new relationships, okay? In the foundation is the situation that some of you are dealing with right now. We have here the King of Wands. This is a fire sign, so Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, sun, moon, or rising. This is someone who's very, very much very passionate. They live life to the fullest. They might be a little bit somewhat impulsive, but very good nature, has a very contagious, infectious laugh, has a really, really good heart, loves animals, and they're always there when you need them. It's like, that knight in shining armor. But I know that Aquarius are very, very independent, especially the women. So you're not looking for, knight in shining armor, or even, the female in shining armor. You're looking for somebody that can, share life experiences with you, like travel with you. They're saying that a lot of you are dealing with this person. So sun, moon, or rising, this is a fire sign, okay? And what it's saying here is it's linked up with the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is new love, overflowing with joy and contentment in a love relationship. If you are involved with this person, they're bringing you a lot of passion and a lot of chemistry, and you're going to be feeling very appreciated by this person based on the actions, the words that they use when they speak to you, based on the things that they want to offer you. And by offer, I don't mean just monetary offer, gifts, trinkets. I mean the ways that they make you feel. I feel like a lot of you are already in a relationship with this person, and you're taking either a relationship to the next level, or you're having a lot of emotional conversations about where the relationship is headed. And I feel like it makes you feel good. It makes you feel quite good. So some of you are, you've been through some type of missed connection or bad relationships in the past 2 years. You might have ended 2 years ago. You might have dealt with that, okay? And you're starting to date now, and you're starting to really, really like this person. Like this might be the one for you. So it shows up as someone who's very, very protective. And it shows up as someone who's like really spirited, like great energy, great passion, great love and passion with this person. At the center of the spread is the central situation here. We do have the Eight of Wands as well as the Sun. The Eight of Wands, first of all, for those who are single, this is a card pertaining to you because this deals with communication. This deals with like positive communication, uplifting types of communication. So there's a lot of, I want to say like rapid communication between you and another person, back and forth. And it's really restoring your sense of attractiveness. It's restoring your sense of like confidence in yourself. So I feel like a lot of you are out there shopping for new clothes. And I feel like specifically dresses. And it's nice to see, especially Aquarius females in dresses, because, I see more, I feel like more of you worry about functionality of clothes. Like you want to be comfortable. So I feel like you're dressing up high heels dresses and things like that. And you're going on dates. Okay. So this is a really, really good card about going out dancing. So with this combination, I feel that your sense of self-esteem is being restored based on the communication that you're getting from potential suitors, based on the communication that you're getting as well with people that you're emotionally involved with. So both of these things indicate to me even long-term, plans to travel with another person, and especially if it is a fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I feel like it's going to make you feel quite good, okay? Crowning this reading, and the crowning energy is something that you're thinking about. So we have here the 10 of coins as well as the 2 of coins. First of all, the 10 of coins in the reverse position basically indicates that I feel like some of you might be thinking about finalizing divorces. Okay, so if you've already been separated, I feel like you're dividing the assets. You've lawyered up. You're trying to divide up your assets between you and another person that you were romantically linked up with or joined with financially. And I feel with the Two of Coins as well, this is a situation where things are being halved. And you're worried about your financial situation long term as well. So while all of this is happening, of course, being Aquarius that is overthinks and overanalyze, I feel like there's some financial concerns that is plaguing you where you feel like you might not have enough in order to travel, in order to like give somebody in your life the life that you want. So there's something here about, anxieties, mostly about money, and anxieties about, wanting to build a life with another person because I feel like it's tainted based on this past disappointment, this past hurts. I feel like for some of you, there's an element of money involved. Somebody might have cheated you out of money. Somebody might have not been fair when it comes to financial dealings. And it might be somebody that you were involved with even in the work environment. So you're not really sure whether or not to, go ahead with it. So there's some questions coming through for Aquarius for this month as it relates to should I or shouldn't I get involved with somebody that, I'm working with, professionally involved with. Should I get romantically involved with them? And the answer here is no, okay? So I don't feel that it's going to go well for you. And then others of you, you might have been cheated like by a romantic partner, either in love or even in finances. And I feel like it's affecting your ability to trust another person when it comes to financial dealings with a new romantic interest. In your future position, we have here the King of Coins as well as the Seven of Cups in the reverse. For those of you who are single and dating, looking around, putting your feelers out there is going to be this person coming through. This is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is somebody who's very, very practical. And this is somebody that wants a relationship. They want a marriage. They want a home. And I feel like this person might have been, through some type of financial difficulties, or they might have recently extracted themselves financially from, a previous family, previous relationship, previous marriage. So you're dealing with someone who's like, getting his or her financial foundation in order so that they can start dating again. And it's linked up here with the Seven of Cups. And when I see the Seven of Cups, I usually think of it as, like social dating, looking at other people's online profiles, making decisions about whether or not to contact them or not. So I feel that if you have this person in your midst, they're the ones that are making that first move. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who's very solid, very pragmatic, very financially well off as well. This could be their Sun, Moon, or Rising. So they're at a point where they're trying to rebuild their empire. They're trying to rebuild their footing. They're trying to rebuild their foundation. Love relationship looks very, very good. I feel like for those of you who are dealing with legal issues, if you've been separated for 2 years or something, I feel like you've already decided to let go. Like you've already decided to sever ties and divorce. So I feel like there's still lingering legal issues, possibly dividing assets. And I feel as well, a lot of you are just like, I'm going somewhere warmer. Like I see a lot of travel. And if you are traveling, I do feel that you're going to meet somebody quite striking, handsome, beautiful, male or female, okay? Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you're going to be dealing with this person exclusively. So rather than just dealing with them either through phone or through, some type of a long distance communication channel, I feel like you're going to be seeing them in the flesh, okay? So we have some really good cards, Aquarius. The main theme here is healing, okay? Healing yourself, putting yourself first, putting your needs first, okay? Don't ask to want to be fair, and so you tend to ask the other person, I'll do whatever you want, like where do you want to go? I'll go wherever you want. Make some decisions, like, exercise your free will. And I do sense as well, Aquarius overall, when you verbalize your feelings, it strikes the other person. Like people are very curious about you. And so when you let your feelings be shown, when you put your foot down, and especially when you decide on things. I feel that it will go a long way in, you know, steering the direction of your relationship, because it pretty much says that you are the person in alignment. Okay, so you can decide on whether or not to go ahead with the relationship or snuff it out before it even begins. So you're pretty much in charge here. It might not seem like that when you're in a relationship with another person and you have to take them into account, but they're saying you're the one that's always going to try to be fair. So you're the one in charge here, okay? I hope you enjoy your birthday month. I hope you enjoy Valentine's Day as well. I wish you the very best for the rest of this month, okay? Take care of yourself. I'll be back for the mid-month reading. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. If you'd like to also donate to my channel as well, it's greatly appreciated. The link is in the description box as well. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.